Harry Potter fans around the world are in mourning as Maggie Smith, aka Professor McGonagall, sadly passes away. Let's talk about it.
When something happens, it is always you three.
What's up guys, Mike here. Welcome back to my channel. Hit the subscribe button for more pop culture content. Okay, some devastating news over the weekend as we learn that the fantastic Maggie Smith sadly passed away at age 89. Maggie Smith, of course, was a fantastic actress whose career spans decades, but to many Gen Zs and millennials like myself, she will always be most well known as Professor Minerva McGonagall from the Harry Potter film franchise.
When I call your name, you will come forth. I shall place the sorting hat on your head, and you will be sorted into your houses.
She was a star on stage and screen, and her death is so sad for me as a Harry Potter fan because I really thought that she brought the role of Professor McGonagall to life. I understand that her career is more than just Harry Potter, but as a pop culture and millennial channel, I will be covering some of her best work as Professor McGonagall in the Harry Potter film franchise.
Are the rumors true, Albus?
I'm afraid so, Professor. The good and the bad.
Maggie Smith appeared in all 8 of the Harry Potter movies, and she's probably one of the only actors to actually do so, particularly the adult actors. I think it's her, Robbie Coltrane as Hagrid, Alan Rickman as Snape, and maybe Warwick Davis as Professor Flitwick, who appear in every single movie.
I will not have you in the course of a single evening besmirching that name by behaving like a babbling, bumbling band of baboons.
Richard Harris as the original Dumbledore passed away after Chamber of Secrets and was replaced by Michael Gambit. So in many ways, Professor McGonagall and Maggie Smith is a mainstay in the series, so much more than a bit part. She really became one of the flagship and most well-known actors in the series.
That was bloody brilliant.
Oh, thank you for that assessment, Mr. Weasley. Perhaps it would be more useful if I were to transfigure Mr. Potter and yourself into a pocket watch. That way one of you might be on time.
Of course, in Philosopher's Stone, the first movie, she was responsible for welcoming Harry into Hogwarts. And what I loved about Maggie Smith's rendition of the character was that she was just so great at capturing the firm but fair attitude of Professor McGonagall.
We got lost.
Then perhaps a map. I trust you don't need one to find your seats.
If you've read the books, you'll know that she was strict. She wasn't necessarily like a fun teacher, but you know, Harry and friends always found her fair as head of Gryffindor House. And I think the sternness of Professor McGonagall was really great in Maggie Smith's portrayal. She was also one of the first characters to appear in the entire film series as her and Dumbledore meet outside the Dursley house in the very first scene of the movies.
Good luck, Harry Potter.
We have her incredible cat transformation and some great lines in the original movie as well. And as the series went on, she continued in this supporting role. In Chamber of Secrets, she was still responsible for looking after the Gryffindor house and worrying about the Chamber of Secrets being opened.
Now, according to legend, Slytherin had built a hidden chamber in this castle known as the Chamber of Secrets.
And in the Prisoner of Azkaban film, she's seen in Hogsmeade and gives us a lot of context around the identity of Sirius Black and his relationship to Harry Potter and James and Lily.
Sirius Black was and remains to this day Harry Potter's godfather.
And in Goblet of Fire, she very much shows how she cares for the students in that she is one of the only people who doesn't want Harry to compete in the tournament.
Do nothing. Offer him up as bait. Potter is a boy, not a piece of meat.
Maggie Smith was just so great at capturing Professor McGonagall's care and her loyalty to Hogwarts and to Dumbledore as well. Like, it was very clear how much she respected Dumbledore as a headmaster, and all of that was transitioned from the page to the screen so well through Smith's performance. In Order of the Phoenix, we see even more of this loyalty and also like her sense of justice in the way that she goes up against Professor Umbridge Umbridge and really tries to stand up for what's right in the world.
Something you'd like to say, dear?
Oh, there are several things I would like to say.
Again, like a lot of these recurring characters in the series, like McGonagall, Snape, and Hagrid, who had a really big role in the first film, but then stay for the entire run, even if just in a few scenes, it really helped this film series to feel alive, to feel lived in, and to feel consistent. Like, I still think it's incredible that all of these already established and successful actors went into this film series and portrayed these characters for 10 years across 8 movies. Like, none of them with a starring role, but the consistency of people like Alan Rickman, Maggie Smith, and Robbie Coltrane really helped to form this really cohesive feeling within Hogwarts. Like, every movie you knew that the staff were the same because the actors agreed to come back. But I really think Professor McGonagall and Maggie Smith's shining moment is in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, in which she confronts Snape. And to be honest, I think this is just incredible acting from both Rickman and Smith. Maggie Smith looks at Snape, believing him to be this evil man who murdered Dumbledore. And Snape looks at her with this fear because deep down he knows, 1, how powerful McGonagall is, and 2, he knows the truth that he's actually good in a way, but he can't tell McGonagall that. So now he's going up with his former colleague and friend and even teacher and has to basically defend himself against her, not really wanting to, but having to keep up this facade. If you go and watch this scene, there is so much subtext there and it is just fantastic. And seeing Professor McGonagall finally get to unleash with magic is just incredible. She stands up for the students. She stands up for what she believes is right. And she takes on this leadership role within the school. You know, she starts the teachers getting all the defenses ready, and she has that iconic line towards the end of the movie before the big fight, where she uses the spell that makes all the statues come to life.
Man the boundaries, protect us, do your duty to our school. I've always wanted to use that spell.
Maggie Smith was such a huge role in my childhood through this performance as Professor McGonagall. She brought that character to life and I love it so much. And man, is it sad to see so many of these iconic actors pass away. Even in the last, 5 years or so, it was Alan Rickman, then Robbie Coltrane, then Michael Gambon last year, and then now Maggie Smith. We also lost, of course, Richard Harris and Richard Griffiths, who was Uncle Vernon, amongst various other Harry Potter actors. And I think one thing about Maggie Smith that really needs to be said is during the filming of the final Harry Potter movie, she was suffering with cancer. She was really weak and frail, but she said herself that the show must go on, and she got up and performed her scenes while having cancer. It is incredible dedication and devotion to this franchise and to acting and to film and to this world she was in, that she was willing to do that, right, despite her sickness. Daniel Radcliffe commented on the death of his co-star, saying, "I remember feeling nervous to meet her and then her putting me immediately at ease. She was a fierce intellect, a gloriously sharp tongue, could intimidate and charm in the same instant, and was, as everyone will tell you, extremely funny. I will always consider myself amazingly lucky to have been able to work with her and to spend time around her on set. The word legend is overused, but if it applies to anyone in our industry, then it applies to her. Thank you, Maggie." Emma Watson, aka Hermione Granger, said, "She was real, honest, funny, and self-honoring. Maggie, there were a lot of male professors and by God, you held your own. Thank you for all of your kindness. I'll miss you." And Rupert Grint said, "Heartbroken to hear about Maggie. She was so special, always hilarious, and always kind. I feel incredibly lucky to have shared a set with her and particularly lucky to have shared a dance. I'll miss you, Maggie. Sending all my love to her family." And of course, there are many other messages from other Harry Potter stars, but I thought I'd focus on the Golden Trio there. Maggie Smith was an incredible part of the Harry Potter franchise and a fantastic actor outside of that and before it, of course, but to many kids, who grew up in the 90s and the 2000s like me, I think we will always remember Professor McGonagall. So Maggie Smith, rest in peace, and thank you for being part of our childhoods. Whew, thank you so much, guys. Sorry it's a sadder video today, but if you like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Comment, what is your favorite Professor McGonagall moment, but also what's your favorite Maggie Smith moment over the years? I know she's in so much more than Harry Potter, so let's celebrate that too. If you like pop culture videos like this and other Harry Potter content, I do a bunch of content all on this channel. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers and I'm pretty close now, so hit that subscribe button, support me on Patreon, all of the above. Thank you so much for watching this, and I hope you enjoyed the video despite the sad subject matter. My name's Rodeo Mike, this has been The Inside of My Mind, and I will catch you later.